I'm a hustler, man. I'm always get it off the muscle, man. Tryna make them hunters bust the rubber bands. Rain, sleet, hell or snow, I'm tryna get it in. Woo! I go door to door, stacking up them dollars like dominoes. I go door to door.
Hustlers, hustlers, hustlers. What's cracking? It's your boy Deshaun. Welcome back to another episode of Roof Hustlers, baby. We will tackle all your daily door-to-door objections, rejections, and we teach you guys how to make connections, man. Because if you ain't creating genuine customer connections, building better customer relationships, and providing premier customer service, then you know, like I know, guys, you ain't making a difference in your wallet or the community, baby. And that's what we do over here at Roof Hustlers, man. Help you guys go from average to good, from good to great. Always keep your food on your plate, baby, because if you do what I do, you know it's a jungle out here. So look, y'all, the year has started. Momentum is rolling. You're getting your deals going. In reality, it's probably froze where you at. Let's just be honest, right? But we want to keep the mind sharp and we want to stay locked in, even though we can't produce the way we want to. But these storms go create opportunities to create momentum once we come out of them. So what I want to cover with you guys today is something I've been pondering on, right? I got a good friend, his name's Steven with A&M Premier Roofing, and he was like, hey, listen, Deshaun, I just did the New Year kickoff with those guys, and he was talking to me, he was like, these guys want to make a lot of money, but their work ethic isn't where it needs to be. So I got to thinking, like, what is work ethic, right? What does it mean to have a strong work ethic? What does it mean to have a bad work ethic, right? So I went into my rabbit hole. I started digging deep. I started doing some research. So what we got for y'all today is 4 traits of somebody with a high work ethic, right? The traits of somebody with a high work ethic. It's really like 9 to 10 of them, but hey, listen, man, I like to encourage you guys to do your own research, you know what I mean? Don't just believe the things I say, right? And we got to say some stuff for the academy, which you should be joining.
You look like the type of person that like to make money. So let me show you a quick way to get to them dollars, right? So look, this you with company training, right? Company training. You get $1, right? This you with the free Roof Hustlers YouTube, right? You get $2, right? But you look like the person that want to make a lot of money. And this you with the Best Hustler Academy. Listen, guys, if you don't want to be this guy making $1 or the guy that love the free stuff only making $2, but you want to be the guy where you making an abundance of money, you need to come join the Best Hustler Academy. Exclusive one-on-one coaching, right? You get questions answered in a very explicit way. You got exclusive marketing content that's not for the public, but it's exclusively here for y'all. So listen, I want to help you take your game to that next level. You need to come join the academy today. Let's shoot.
Without further ado, I want you guys to understand what it actually means to have a high work ethic and what are those traits and qualities so you can add them to your game so you can go to that next level so you can finish the year strong and start it off the way you want to. So let's hop into these traits of somebody with a high work ethic. As y'all know, I don't like to water down the information, so I do got some notes for y'all, right? Because I want to make sure y'all get this information the right way. So the traits of somebody with a high work ethic. Before we get going, this is what I want you to think about. If you had to rate your work ethic on a scale of 1 to 10, do that, right? Get you some notes, write down on a piece of paper, write down 1 to 10 what you feel like your work ethic is. That way you can get some insight of who you are. I want to be very clear. I did this with myself and I couldn't even put myself above a 5. Just being real, because I had to really think about like, man, it's some days my work ethic ain't on the way it should be. It's some days I enjoy my bed a little too much longer, right? It's some days I enjoy idle time over productive time. So one thing I'm working on this year is improving my work ethic, right? And I'm being more mindful of it, right? Because I thought just having a good work ethic was just grinding. Nah, it's actually way different, right? So let's talk about that. The mindset of someone with a high work ethic usually focused on dedication, discipline, responsibility, a strong commitment to producing high quality work. So dedication, discipline, responsibility, and a strong commitment to producing high quality work. So as we know, it's work ethic, right? Now let's break that word down. So work, what's the definition of that? Involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or result. That's the definition of work. Now let's talk about ethics. It's a set of moral principles relating to a form of conduct, right? A set of moral principles relating to a form of conduct. So when I put those two words together, work ethic, right? It's actually the moral principles that you operate when you're trying to get something done or accomplish something, right? So what are the moral principles that guide you when you're looking to get your work done, right? So listen, work ethic, an attitude of determination and dedication towards one's job. People with a strong work ethic place a high value on their professional success. So as I started thinking about this, man, y'all know I'm big on principles. I was like, people with a good work ethic, it's not just getting out there and just running into walls and just grinding. People with a strong work ethic actually have really good principles that govern their behavior so they can have a high level of success in their professional career. So I want you to think about that. What are the principles that conduct your behavior when it's time to get to work? So let's talk about the 4 traits, the ones that I enjoy, right? That I felt would be impactful to you guys, that somebody with a high work ethic possess. The first trait, this one kind of blew my mind when I was looking into it because it would have never crossed my mind to think that this aligns with having a good work ethic. But the first one is reliability, right? Are you reliable? Understand, people with a high work ethic, these people are reliable. They show up on time. They meet deadlines. They offer quality work, and understand when you're reliable, it creates more freedom. It creates more opportunity. It allows you to get in rooms that other people shouldn't get into. So I want you to think about this, right? How reliable are you, right? Can your company rely on you to get things done? Can your company rely on you to show up on time? Are you late? Do you not follow up with homeowners, right? Do you not get things done in a timely manner? And if you don't, I want to let you know your work ethic is tainted. Last year, I made a decision to my business partner, his name Bruce. I was like, Bruce, I want to be more reliable, man. I want you to be able to rely on me at a very high level to get things done and, show up and do my part of the academy. I don't want to just get by. I want to drop 40 every night, right? That was my mindset, 40, 50 a night. So I worked with a company and it was like, they don't like it when their managers check to see where the GPS at or check to see if they working. And I had to let them know the top performers, the owners don't ask them those questions. They don't check on them to see where they at. Only people that, get those check-ins or wondering where you at are the people that aren't reliable. I can't rely on you to do your job the right way, so I got to give you a little bit of micromanage when it comes to your success. So listen, guys, the first trait of somebody with a good work ethic, they're reliable. So I want you to think about that. Is that a moral principle that you operate out of? You can rely on me. You can count on me. I'm going to show up, do my job, be on time, right? Execute, right? Take stress out of your life because I am reliable.
You can count on me.
So that's the first trait, reliability. You got to be reliable if you want a strong work ethic. The second trait of somebody with a strong work ethic, before I dive into this one, this is what I want you to hear. Your only limitation, the amount of dedication that you exhibit. Your only limitation is the amount of dedication that you exhibit. The second trait of somebody with a high work ethic, high levels of dedication, or they're dedicated. Shout out to Lil Wayne. No, I'm just playing. But anyways, dedication, right? Part of a good work ethic is commitment and dedication. You get the job done without distractions.
Distraction!
Ask yourself this, when you go to work, when it's time for you to hit the doors, when it's time for you to run appointments, are you dedicated? Do you have a dedication to get the job done without distractions? Or are you easily swayed in different directions, right? Listen, people with a high work ethic, they're committed to excellence and dedicated to performing at their best. So I started thinking about that when I was like, man, it was about 8 to 10 months. I just made a switch mentally, maybe like 16 months. I made a switch mentally that I was dedicated to becoming the best version of myself. I was dedicated to becoming phenomenal at this job. I was dedicated to making sure I could take care of my family. I was dedicated to performing at my best. I was dedicated to showing up and executing at the highest levels to make sure our company got the recognition and the notoriety that they deserved by me showing up being a sales rep that was, performing at my best. So I made a dedication to get better. When you dedicated, you don't give up. You see things to its final conclusion, right? You're persistent. You don't stop until the job is done. And the problem with some of you guys, you lack dedication. That's why you don't got the results that you want. You're not dedicated to being the best version of you. You just want to show up and get a check. So your work ethic, the reason why it's not at the level that you want it to be, because you're not dedicated to your craft, right? You're not dedicated to your success. And I know this might hurt your feelings, but you ain't even dedicated to your family. You're not dedicated to making sure your family experience life at the highest levels, because if you was, you'll be doing your job in a way that nobody's ever seen you do it before. So the second trait of somebody who had a high work ethic, they dedicated. Kobe Bryant, dedicated, 2 practices a day, right? Shooting threes. Steph Curry, dedicated, right? LeBron taking care of his body, dedicated. Cal Ripken, when he was playing baseball, dedicated, right? That's why he got the longest streak for starts. So I just want to ask you, are you dedicated to doing your absolute best? And if you dedicated to going to that next level, you are somebody with a high work ethic. But if you could look at yourself and like,
Hey, Sean, man, I don't got that dedication to this thing, man. I'm just doing it to get a quick little check.
that's maybe why you aren't seeing the results that you want to see. So that second trait of somebody with a high work ethic, you got to get dedicated, man. Dedicated to the craft, dedicated to your family, dedicated to the final conclusion, right? Dedicated to seeing this thing all the way through. Get in the field and create a dedication to executing and performing at your best. So that's the second trait, dedication, baby. The third trait of somebody with a high work ethic. This one was actually intriguing to me as well, because this would have never crossed my mind that this falls in the alignment of people with a high work ethic. But it's your professional integrity. Your professional integrity. People with a high work ethic, they hold oneself to a high moral principles. They hold themselves to high moral principles. They do what needs to be done when nobody is looking, meaning they mean what they say and they say what they mean. So everybody like to say we operate out of integrity. Cool. Think about your professional integrity. Do you do the things you're supposed to be doing when nobody is looking? Can the company count on you to turn a check in and not get devious thoughts? Can the company count on you to stop eating deductibles? Because you eating deductibles, that's a lack of professional integrity, right? You haven't dedicated enough time to your craft. You haven't become reliable, which teeters with your professional integrity, which means you haven't developed the skill sets to get homeowners to pay for their deductibles. It's pretty simple, right? So your professional integrity is compromised. So I want you to think about this. When nobody's looking, do you do the things you're supposed to be doing? When I first got started in this industry, my work ethic was trash. I won't even lie. And once I started studying this stuff, I had to be honest with myself. My work ethic wasn't up to par. In other words, my first year, I would go knock doors for 2 hours. I would go hang with the homies for 2 hours. No professional integrity. I would pull up in the neighborhood and sit in my car for an hour because I was trying to find damage. No professional integrity. So I had to really do some self-reflecting like, man, I've grown a lot. I want you to do some self-reflecting as well. Do you got professional integrity? Do you take the company trucks and you go out and do mischievous things with them, right? Or do you leave a company truck at home and drive your own vehicle? That's professional integrity. Or you that guy, you go out with the boss and you grind. As soon as he leave, you leave 30 minutes later because you had something to do, right? That means you lack in professional integrity. Are you honest? Are you transparent with your homeowners? That's professional integrity. So having professional integrity is a sign of having a high work ethic. And like I said, it kind of blew my mind when I studied it because I thought high work ethic was somebody that worked long hours and always tried their best, never gave up. No, it's actually moral principles that guide your behavior. So I want you to think about this. What is your professional integrity like? Do you got boundaries between you and your homeowners, right? Do you got boundaries between you and your coworkers? All of those things fall under the category of professional integrity. My company, they trusted me so much, they used to give me a key. We used to come in on Sundays. I used to do personal development, right? I never took advantage of that privilege because I had professional integrity. Are you honest with the money that you make? Do you turn in your work in time? All of these little tedious things all fall under the category of having professional integrity. So I want you to do some self-assessing, right? Do I got the professional integrity of somebody with a high work ethic? And if you don't, it's your opportunity to change it, all right? So that's the third trait of somebody with a high work ethic. They got high levels of professional integrity. They do the right thing when nobody's looking, and you can write a check, send it to the bank because you know they're gonna get the job done because that's just how they operate. Right? You don't got to tell them to work no harder. You don't got to tell them to show up early. You don't got to tell them to go above and beyond. They just operate out of professional integrity that most people don't possess. And last but not least, the fourth and final trait of somebody with a high work ethic, they're responsible, or they possess high levels of responsibility. So having a strong work ethic requires a keen sense of responsibility. Those who are ethical and responsible hold themselves accountable to their actions, right? They don't pass on the blame, and they take the blame and they actively work to correct things. I want you to think about this. When it comes to your work ethic, are you responsible? Do you take responsibility for when things go wrong and then you fix them? That's traits of somebody with a good work ethic. One time I've had a build, we put the wrong color on the house. We shingled about 25 squares. The dude told me the color was wrong. I'm like, nah, I don't think you're right. I get up there, look, find out the color wrong, called my rep, got the roof tore out, New shingles that are delivered, we still got the roof done in 3 days. I didn't blame nobody else. I ain't blame that they looked at my contract wrong. I took full responsibility and we got it fixed. Also, I like to let guys know, if you want to do 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, what I want you to do is think about the level of responsibility that you're going to have to step into in order to achieve that kind of success. Because it don't come easy. You got to be a little bit more responsible, right? You got to take ownership for certain things. Things going to go wrong. Don't blame it on production. Don't blame it on the sales manager. You take full responsibility for your own success. If you're not performing the way you're supposed to perform, don't blame it on your lack of training. Take responsibility. That's what I did. When I felt like my company trained me to a level of where I plateaued, what I started doing was taking responsibility for my success. I started diving in information. I started doing research. I started going to events. I started going to conferences. I started paying for training. I took responsibility for my success. Even when I used to be a, stay-at-home dad, babysitting, I never used that as an excuse. I took responsibility for that. I would get babysitters. I did all of these things, right? But I want you to think about this. Are you responsible? And if you are, awesome. If you're not, I want you to think about what areas of your life can you become more responsible in. And like I told y'all before, you shouldn't have the right to be irresponsible because somebody else got to be responsible for your lack of, responsibility. So that's one of the traits of somebody with a high work ethic. They're very responsible. So listen, guys, what I want y'all to do is do some self-reflecting on this episode, right? I want you to go back and think about this, right? What does my reliability look like? Am I dedicated to my craft? Am I dedicated to my profession? Am I dedicated to the company? Am I dedicated to myself, my family? Do I get the job done, right? Do I show up and execute at a very high level day in and day out? Do I got dedication and commitment to becoming the best version of me? Do I have professional integrity? Do I do the things that need to be done even when nobody is looking, even when I don't get credit for it, even when I don't get validation for it? Do I still get those things done? And last but not least, am I responsible? Do I got a high level of responsibility? Which means when things happen, what is your ability to respond to things? And we don't like to react to things, we like to respond to things. And like I said, it's about 4 more traits that builds up somebody with a high work ethic. But I want you to do your own research. I want you to do some self-assessing. I want you to do some self-analysis, right? Like, am I somebody with a high work ethic? Like I said, once I did the research, I realized I was like at a 5. And I need to improve my work ethic as well. And I want to see you guys take your work ethic to that next level. So before we get up out of here, I just want you to remember this. You're entitled to your labor, but not the fruits of your labor. You're entitled to your labor, but not the fruits of your labor, which means just because you improve your work ethic don't mean you're entitled to the results. But I do want to let you know, most of the people that got a high work ethic usually got high results to follow it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's Roof Hustlers episode. If you did, man, leave us some comments down in the comment box. We do pay attention to those. If there's any topics that you want us to cover, shoot us an email, deshaun@roofhustlers.com. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Instagram. They did bring TikTok back, right? But TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Deshaun Bryant. We do pay attention to all those social media outlets and we love to connect and communicate with our community, right? It's always my pleasure to help you guys go to that next level and take your game out of this universe, right? And as always, baby, hustle hard, hustle smart, and don't be afraid to boat card. Hustlers, I'm out.